Hello, Seton Hall Prep. Mike Hulsy here. This is a very strange phenomenon for me to allow myself to be filmed, let alone to film myself. That's why for the selfie portion here, I'm having my wife hold the phone. So thank you, Megan. Most of you guys know, if you've ever looked at any yearbooks, I don't ever age because they've used the same picture for the last 10 years because I don't like people sticking cameras in my faces. So instead of me giving you guys an autobiographical take on COVID-19 and the Hulsy family response, I'm going to give you a tour. So I'm going to take over. Okay, stop dancing. All right, so welcome to the standard house under lockdown. Very messy.
Yes.
Workstation number 1. All right. Now, briefly, I do want to get a little bit more serious. I'm going to show you a couple things that I think are of significance. First of all, for those of you who think of me as a history teacher, first and foremost, I want to show you that why world history is so essential to our understanding of the world. You might notice my mastery of both South America and Africa, as I soon will dominate my children in risk due to my superior world history knowledge. One other thing I want to point out while we're here in this room is a place that's very important to my family. This is colloquially called our God spot, which is a term I learned from Linda Macius, who is the head of religious education at Assumption School, whose boys went to the prep. This is where we in the Hulsy family try to interface as much as we can with our community that we have lost touch with, the community of our parish, as much as we've lost touch with our community at Seton Hall Prep, both of which developments are heartbreaking. But this is where we live stream Mass with Monsignor Hart and Father Luke, and this is where we try to go about our spiritual business in this very difficult time. We move on here. This is the high school and first grade workstation, such as it is. And now for the last development, I would like to take you guys outside with me. I didn't really script this necessarily, but I did have some sense of what I wanted to say. Hopefully this model, instead of staring at my face, is more interesting. So this is the outdoors. Okay, many of us have lived, obviously, sequestered away, and the outdoors have become extremely important to us. But one thing I wanted to point out is if you listen, you can hear a hawk, you can hear birdsong. One of the things that's come home to me during this entire time period, which is one of great difficulty for the country, is that very little of us know anything, and that we're being told to do quite a few things. And the introspection and self-centeredness and overwhelming individuality of human beings in our society and world society in general, which we have taken for granted at this point, has been assailed. And what we would normally turn to during times of difficulty is community, and our community has been taken from us. The very humanity that we rely upon has been taken away from us as a result of the official response to this health crisis. It is a difficult time, and it is a time, I think, that people of great faith are able to weather probably more healthfully and more safely than people who lack great faith. And I think it is a time period where people who recognize their smallness, who recognize that they themselves are just tiny nodes in a much larger community, they're going to survive this thing. Those people who have centered their life upon themselves are the people who are going to struggle, and the people who are going to struggle in the future. I'm sorry that I don't have a lot of platitudes for you. Platitudes have grown like apples on the apple tree in this crisis, and I don't know how appropriate they are. I'm not an epidemiologist, nor am I a policy advisor. I can only tell you how I feel. I can only tell you how the Hulsy family is dealing with things. I miss the prep tremendously. It saddens me almost more than any other part of this crisis that I'm not going to be able to see my seniors again, I don't think. And it saddens me even further that we have lost so many members of our community. One of my favorite kids from the 2000s, Willie Mayone, the mother of the McGee brothers, Mark Smith's brother, and we were unable to grieve with our community members. This fundamental aspect of humanity has been taken away from us, and I think it is the greatest of all the tragedies. But I'm thinking of all of you. I love the prep, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again.